I've written about everything that, every little demon I had before, in a reflective way, and now I'm writing songs about them in an immediate way.
I will bury your bones inside.
Yeah, it's about him struggling, he's just been on pharmaceuticals since that crash.
I'm sure that there's no surprise that some of what I'm writing about has to do with that, because I spend every day dealing with it,
A lot of the lyrical content on the record's about that.
Medication that I'm on is powerful, and it's something when I was in my younger years, it used to be recreational. However, it's not recreational anymore. It's a giant gorilla on my back.
And as my lungs to play, you help me suffocate. We have no need to breathe. You die to disappear.
I mean, I'll be honest with you, I kind of have let John do his thing lyrically.
That's so personal, and I knew this would be very personal for these guys. And there's definitely content on here that is related to these guys' lives for the last 3 years.
The fact of the matter is that Nick and I showed up after Yellow and Green, after the crash, and even though I feel like a full quarter member of the band, there are things that he is singing about that I was not there for, and that Nick was not there for. What happened was a big deal. So as far as lyrical content goes, let John and Pete have at it vocally.
These lyrics have come from a place of sincerity with these guys.
This record itself felt a little more personal. We wanted to clear away some of the obscurity and speak as openly about them as we're capable.
I think that if somebody's going to give a convincing delivery, it should be something that they mean and that they want to sing about. And I think people hear that.
We have no need to breathe. You die to disappear.
It's difficult to contend with the fact that my quality of life is a little bit better with this thing that I've struggled with in the past.
John is a case of a human who has pain, who has to cope with that pain.
This shit hurts, and I wanted to be above it so hard that I thought just by, mental willpower and that I could just, slosh it off the side. But the more I ignore them, the worse things are. It's sort of tough to realize your frailty and just accept it. Equally difficult was treating pain with medication.
I think the only problem with John is the pain. I have pain, help me deal with this pain.
It's a fucking nightmare. To get to the point where I can say it's a nightmare, and I can say, hey, I'm more comfortable when I'm on them. And this is not where I wanted to be at in my life.
In general, I think for a good band dynamic, you need to let each person freak out about their role and give them moral support when they need it.
He is surrounded, and I mean when I say surrounded, I mean surrounded by people who love him. He's got a support chain like nobody's fucking business.
Should we do a group photo?
We're all here. But he's got an arm. He can play his guitar. Homeboy will suck up the pain for that. Makes the pain a little bit sweeter, doesn't it?
We were writing songs about some really difficult things that happened to us, but these aren't negative songs, they're positive songs. This is how we deal with it.
There's this big, bright, shining light at the end of that dark tunnel John travels through that. And John's an artist, man.
There's a very distinct glue that holds people together with music. I think it has a lot to do with heartache and death, broken hearts and dealing with pain. All of these things are essentially the building blocks for all art, because we all deal with these things. These are things we all have in common. In order for me to move past and move through things and be a hopeful person and find something worth being ambitious about or motivating myself towards. I have to, I have to deal with these very real things. So yes, there's a good portion of this record that is at the very least a reaction to that situation.